Hello everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood dog philosopher back with another video today. And it's July, the middle of summer. A lot of people want to go away in the summer, including my wife and I. We like to go away too. And I get a lot of emails, probably starting as early as like mid-May, on if I have any referrals or guidance on what people can do with their dogs when they want to go away. So really a lot of boarding requests or requests for like, do you know anywhere I can board my dog or anybody that can watch my dog? And I give people the same sort of spiel every time, so I thought I would share that spiel with all of you today, and we'll talk a little bit about who can take care of your dog when you're away. All right, so what are your options? Essentially, you got two options. You're gonna take your dog somewhere and leave them there for somebody to watch them, or you're gonna have somebody come to your place while you're gone and watch your dog there at home. All right, I've been trying to get this video done for like the last 15 minutes since the last clip. Truck goes by, dog owner talking to me from across the street, the GoPro keeps shutting off randomly. Tell you, some days it's just not all that easy to get a video done. All right, on to our point. Where can you take your dog so that somebody can watch them while you're away? All right, so option one is your standard kennel, right? Lots of these places around, plenty in the Hamilton, Ontario area where I live. And basically you're gonna take your dog there. It's going to be probably the least expensive option, but it's also going to have probably the least amount of luxuries for your dog. They're going to be assigned a kennel run, most likely. And maybe they've got a bed in there. Somebody will come in every day to clean the kennel run. There'll be a door, most likely, that leads to an outside kennel run, so your dog has an outside space. But a lot of these places, yeah, they might come in, take your dog out for a little walk or something. But for the most part, your dog is left alone in their own individual kennel run. The one problem is all the dogs can see each other, and if you've ever been to one of these places, typically you know, very loud, lots and lots of dogs barking, and to me seems very stressful for a dog. I'll share a quick anecdote about kennels. We've used one once. We used a kennel at Cedar Point, yes, the famous theme park. I think the first year we didn't have Ollie at that point, we just had Chickpea and Penny. And we put them in the kennel there, and I think it was like $30 a day for the kennel. Air conditioned, and in theory our dogs will be safe while we go and enjoy the park. Unfortunately, we didn't even get to the front gates from the kennel area when the kennel called us and said, you've got to come back right now. So Penny, in 15 minutes, had a complete meltdown, super stressed out, and had diarrhea all throughout her crate, which of course then she covered herself in. So they basically took me over to the crate, handed me a mop and bucket, and said it's not their job to clean it up. And no, it's not. So after that, really from that moment on, that was the catalyst that if you followed our videos for a while, you know we've done a lot to climate control the van so that we can leave the dogs in the van. And that was the catalyst for it, because after that experience, I said I will never do this to our dogs again. Personally, I'm not a big fan of kennels, but I've had plenty of clients who have very relaxed dogs that did well at a kennel. So this might be a good option for you, especially if you're on a budget. That's one option, the kennel. All right, so another take your dog somewhere option. Got a few more. Some vets, I've had plenty of clients who actually their vet boarded their dog when they were away. That might be something you can inquire about. The vet is probably a much quieter place for your dog to be boarded. So, and some of these vets have somebody on staff 24/7, right? So somebody's there all night to keep an eye on your dog. So that's a possibility. You've got websites like Rover. I think Rover's still around. We actually, Chris and I used Rover when Chickpea was just a wee little itty bitty puppy. And we found somebody here in Hamilton who was actually a dog walker who watched Chickpea overnight for us twice while we went to Halloween Haunt at Canada's Wonderland. Man, that was so long ago. Chickpea was just such a wee little pupperoo. But you could try websites like Rover and Ollie, Chickpea. Now, keep in mind, these are not necessarily dog professionals, okay? Rover Anybody who is just a dog lover can create a profile on the website and then offer to watch your dog. But if your dog is difficult or has a lot of special needs, let's say, doesn't necessarily mean that the people, the great folks that have put up a profile on a website like Rover know how to handle dogs. They just love dogs and they will watch your dog, but it doesn't necessarily mean they know how to handle a difficult dog, or maybe they won't maintain your training, but that's an option. Probably a little more expensive than a kennel, but now in theory your dog is in a nice quiet family home, just like the one that they're in now with you. So that's another option. Now, two other options for taking your dog somewhere. Just like Rover, a nice family home could be somebody that you know. So maybe you've got a friend or a family member that is willing to watch your dog. That's probably, in my opinion, one of the best options, because now the dog is hopefully familiar with that family member, has maybe even been to their house, so they're comfortable in those surroundings. And maybe they're even going to do it as a favor and you don't have to pay. Maybe they love your dog and they're absolutely willing to watch your dog for you for no charge whatsoever. If you have a situation like that, you probably weren't reaching out to me to ask for boarding advice, but that's another option, is a family member or friend. And then the last one I'll mention, I have a lot of clients that use a doggy daycare, and often these doggy daycares also provide overnight boarding. So if you've been using a doggy daycare service, maybe that's the ticket. Maybe right there, your dog goes there once or twice a week for some socialization, and so that you can go and get something done in your life. And then maybe they'll also watch your dog for you. Some of these places will let the dogs just sort of free roam at night. Some of them will crate the dogs. So maybe your dog has to be crate trained to use some of these options. But as far as I can think about off the top of my head here, that's about all the options for taking your dog somewhere to board your dog. All right, at this point, I'm not even sure where I am in this video or what I was talking about. Got interrupted by long-haired guys that started up their machines right in the middle of me talking. I think I'm on my last point, which is having somebody come and stay at your place. Now, this is definitely going to be the most expensive option, but I think probably the best option for your dog, meaning they're at home and they're comfortable. Maybe you can get a family member to come and stay. Great. Probably only have to pay them in food to hang out for the week with your dog. And they probably know your family member, so that's probably the easiest option other than taking your dog to the family member's house. But you can also hire people. Like, you can hire a dog walker, and some dog walkers even offer this service. Well, they will come and stay at your house for you. Now, I don't know how comfortable I would feel with anybody outside of a family member staying at my house. I have a couple close friends I would trust, and my direct family, maybe my parents, but other than that, I don't know if I would feel good about hiring somebody. Even if I looked into them and they were bonded and insured and all of that stuff, I don't know how comfortable I would feel having somebody stay in my house. But I have had a few clients that have used a service like that, and they said it was great. They'd known the dog walker for like a year or something and trusted them, and everything went great. So that's another option, is you could pay somebody to come and stay at your house with your dog. Well, look where we are. Ended up back in my backyard. That was almost 40 attempts, 40 clips, trying to get one little video talking about where you can board your dog. It was rough out there today. Anyway, all I wanted to do at the end there was just sum up everything that I discussed in the video. So your options. You can take your dog somewhere. Maybe your vet will board the dog. If you don't have a lot of money, then a kennel is a pretty inexpensive option, comparatively speaking, but they're very noisy and probably stressful. You can find a stranger that loves dogs, like on the website Rover, and see if they'll watch your dog for you. You could take your dog to a family member's house and see if they'll watch your dog for you. In terms of boarding at home, maybe you can rope a friend or family member to come and stay at your house with you, and at least they'll keep an eye on your house while they're also keeping an eye on your dog. Or you can hire somebody, and hopefully it's somebody that you can trust, because they're going to be staying in your house watching your dog while you're away. Personally, we don't go anywhere without the dogs. I've had clients ask me before, well, what if you wanted to, fly to Europe? I don't want to fly to Europe. In fact, I hate flying. I hate flying. I've only flown twice in my life, and they've both been absolutely anxiety-inducing, terrible experiences. So luckily, I guess, for our dogs, I don't plan on going anywhere that I can't drive. And as I chatted about earlier, if you've watched our videos, we have spent a lot of money and time to climate control the van. The van, our air conditioner in our camper van runs on a giant battery bank, and we can leave the dogs for the afternoon. So if we're out traveling somewhere, we can leave them. And they're nice and safe in their in the van, a place they're familiar with, and they stay with us. So other than the little story I shared with you guys, we have never boarded our dogs. We boarded Chickpea twice, I think I mentioned, with a dog walker here in Hamilton, and that went very well, so I'm very happy with that. We tried a kennel once at Cedar Point, and it was a disaster, and ever since then, these dogs have never been away from us in the last 6-7 years, I guess. Every single night, these dogs have been with us. We've never boarded them. The most we've ever done is we've left them in their crates for maybe 6 hours when we've gone to Canada's Wonderland, and we usually only go a half day because we come back to take care of the dogs. That's it, though. Those are your options. So hopefully, if you've had any questions about what to do with your dog when you're away, this video has helped at least lay out your options to you. If you can think of an option that I haven't addressed in this, please leave it in the comments below, and I'll pin it to the top so somebody else can see it. That's all I got. If you want to travel, if you know what, if you're a like serious traveler, like you just love traveling all the time, maybe a pet is not for you. You know, you got to get your priorities straight. My wife and I, Chris and I, love to travel, but we like to road trip, so the dogs can come with us, and then the dogs get a little adventure along with us. So it is what it is. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Hopefully it was somewhat helpful to you, and other than that, spend some time out with your dogs this summer and enjoy some nice weather. We only get it so long here in Southern Ontario. All right, I'll see you in the next video. What do you guys think? Chickpea? What do you think, baby girl? See ya.